because it's gonna be Selesnya CoCo versus Niv to Light. So I can say yes, it's gonna be quite much slower.
Wait, there were 3 Selesnya decks: CoCo, Kona, and Angels.
Yeah, and the Angels is also a CoCo deck.
Oh no.
So let's talk about the Selesnya CoCo first, because I don't think there has been one in the streams yet. But yeah, it's a Selesnya 3-drop tribal that plays Collected Company.
Yeah, very box standard. Looks like it at least. Getting a lot of value out of CoCo with having all those ETB exile effects and everything.
And something like Enduring Innocence also huge from it.
Yeah.
And you always want to find 2 3-drops from the CoCo, because then you cheat out more mana than you have like used to it, because you use 4 and get 6 mana out of it. And if say you find something like Enduring Innocence and Skyclave Apparition, you get to draw and exile also, which is huge at instant speed also.
Yes.
And
very strong and explosive plays.
Yeah, and because it has, on main board at least, it has 8 exile effects, it's like very reasonable to find something that exiles. And yeah, the deck is basically playing creatures and 4 CoCos. That's the gameplay. You always want to find your CoCo targets. Finding something like Voice and 3-drop is fine, but you always want to find like 2 3-drops. And then the Niv to Light. So the name comes from Niv Mizzet Reborn and Bring to Light. So 5C, I play best cards. I play cards that have many colors, and I play a toolbox.
Or one could say, 5C, I played Commander and I had a lot of lands, so I made this deck.
This time the player is trying 0 of the Sylvan Caryatids, but instead they are playing 4 Ancient Cornucopias. Cornucopia is certainly a stronger card than I already forgot the wall's name.
Sylvan Caryatid?
Yeah. It's certainly stronger because when the deck has 5 and 4 color cards, gaining the 5 or even 10 life a turn can make the whole difference. But also, it's a turn slower, it can be a thing. And it's better to double a spell with it, because you can go on turn 4, play untap land, and play something like Vanishing Verse right away. And then gain 2 life from it. Because it taps the mana right away. With Caryatid you also could do that, but you don't get the life then.
Yeah, I definitely think as long as you are able to dodge like something like Mono Red, where the 1 turn might make a difference, or having like a blocking wall might make a difference, Cornucopia is definitely better, since against mid-range decks and things like that, you start gaining a lot of life.
But against like Mono Red also can win through by just play it and riding it till the end.
Yeah.
It has its like moments. It's good in a different way. They both produce mana.
Yeah.
But in a longer game, the Ancient Cornucopia is just better, because it also doesn't die to your own Vrats.
Yeah.
But yeah. This is an interesting matchup. I have seen this multiple times with 2 different people. And this is really interesting to see every time, because it's not like this deck will, like, it's not like Niv to Light will always win, and it's not like CoCo is always gonna win. They both have a good game plan against each other.
Yeah. And of course, toolbox decks can have very strong games and very weak games, like in every type of meta. So
Mm.
it's always interesting to watch Niv to Light.
It's never interesting to play against it because it just feels like they have everything. Because, well, their deck has everything.
Yeah.
And the games have started, and the CoCo deck has a good start with Llanowar Elves. It always wants the Llanowar Elves from the start, so because it's a 3-drop tribal, not having it could be a huge difference. And turn 2, Archon of Emeria. This is a really good card against Niv to Light because it can disrupt the lands if it's like trying to go on turn 2 like up the beanstalk.
Mm.
The Shocklands will always come on the field tapped with this.
CoCo is playing a bit risky with not running a full set of Elvish Mystics.
No, it's not. It's usually, I think it's a normal thing because also dropping too many of them is a problem. And you always need just one at the start. But you always want to see it. But there's a like certain balance to it that you want to see them every game, but you don't want to see them multiples in a longer game.
Yeah. That is true.
Yeah, and the Niv had a really good opening with the Savai Triome and Sultai Triome. They had the domain already, so the Archon didn't matter in the end. It just got Leyline Binding. And there's a Colocan's command destroying one of the elves when they saw there's no third land drop for the CoCo deck. But now there is. And passing the turn, it usually implies that there is a CoCo coming.
Yeah.
The Aven Interrupter is also... I'm trying to find a word really useful for the deck, because if you don't have the CoCo, you can play still an instant speed game with technically a counter spell.
Yeah.
And it also matters with the Enduring Innocence, because with the flash creatures you can trigger it twice a turn, like a turn cycle I could say, because play something on your own turn and then flash either the Aven Interrupter or the Verafox Bodyguard on your opponent's turn, draw another, and then again your turn draw something.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm not sure that because they're thinking so much. I'm not sure if it's a really hard CoCo, like what to put into field, or it's like annoying CoCo to see like, is there really nothing good? What bad cards do I put into field? And there's Anointed Peacekeeper. And what's the other? So this might have been a good CoCo, not a bad CoCo. And that's the Enduring Innocence. Yeah, the Peacekeeper is the only creature that doesn't trigger Enduring Innocence. But it's so good of a card, and it's another 3-drop that you can play with, because the 3-drops that don't have double white are so much easier to play. And it's another tax piece for the deck.
And the deck definitely feels a lot more consistent than a lot of the other CoCo variants. Like Gruul is faster, but Gruul lacks a lot of the finesse that this deck has.
But yeah, here I could see almost all of these options being reasonable to choose, but I agree with the Leyline Binding being the best one. And funnily, Peacekeeper says, I think it says as it enters the battlefield, it never it doesn't go to stack. It doesn't use the stack because it says as it enters.
Yeah.
So there was no
interaction.
Yeah, there was no way to play the Leyline Binding in it. It could have been played before the CoCo, but of course then you would just get the Llanowar Elves or Elvis Mystic.
Mm.
And it changes a little bit because now the Niv-to-Light cannot use their mana fully this turn, and they need to lose some amount of tempo from this. But their next turn is gonna be good anyway, because they can either kill 2 creatures by Lightning Helix in the Peacekeeper, Peacekeeper and Leyline Binding the Enduring Innocence, or they can just play Niv Mizzet and just have a 6/6 flyer.
I just noticed that the Convoke player had pinged people in our Discord that the stream is starting.
He knows
Come and see my explosive starts.
He wants to everybody to see how good the Boros Convoke is.
Yeah.
This is Pillax box, so look top X cards where X is double the amount of your land, so 10 at this point, and take 1. A little bit better impulse, I would say.
Yeah.
So it's when playing against the Pillage, it just feels like a demonic tutor most of the time.
Mm.
I think the CoCo player is representing another CoCo, and this is brutal.
Oh.
So 3 mana. Is it even Interruptor or is it just float mana? No, it's... Oh, it's Werefox. Huh.
Ah. That's nice.
Yeah, they're drawing a card, and Werefox can exile up to 1 other target non-werewolf creature. So they're probably trying to save one of their creatures, and I would imagine it's Anointed Peacekeeper.
Mm.
Yeah. This is kind of cool line to go. And then it comes to field again, and now they can choose another card if they want. Or they can again choose the Leyline Binding if they want to. Which... everything is again reasonable, but... you could also say Lightning Helix and make them use the Leyline Binding if they want to. Because if you choose the Leyline Binding, they're gonna just or they actually cannot Lightning Helix it because how they left their mana. I'm not sure if there was another way to tap them though. Yeah, I can see you had a really awkward mana here. And they decide to get the Leyline Binding again. Yeah, the CoCo deck is exploiting the moment of Niv-to-Light not having the perfect mana for everything they want to. Again, I still think this is not a bad position for the Niv-to-Light player because they're still holding on Niv-to-Light. Niv Mizzet.
Bring to light.
Niv Mizzet, I meant.
Oh yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah, because it's a 6/6.
Yeah.
And then if it gets exiled, that's just a horrible thing for the CoCo deck. Or if the CoCo deck exiles it, it's still a horrible thing because they know there's two different removal spells in the hand. And the pressure isn't high at the moment. Of course, thanks to the Voice of Resurgence, the Niv to Light player needs to do their things now. It shouldn't matter much, but they just need to do it. And now they rare moment where they get to use unmoored ego. They just have 3 mana lying around, so might as well just go get all the CoCos out of the deck. Usually when you take out the namesake of the deck, it gets a little bit worse, I meant to say.
Yeah. She's saying the 1 in 100 times it gets cast and not discarded to Fable.
The one time it does something, and it doesn't feel like full garbage. I mean, sometimes when I play ninjas, it feels annoying that it hits the Kaito in the game 1. But of course, that's like 1 in 100 game when it actually happens. If there's one Kaito in the field, it doesn't matter that much. But of course, CoCo cannot be on the battlefield, it must be in the hand or a deck and anywhere to be used. And this just seems at this point so over. Because the CoCo deck doesn't have its best card. And it doesn't have any pressure at the moment. The Niv player still has the Niv to miss it in hand. And if that is not enough, they have Yorion.
This is how it feels like usually to play against Niv to Light. Like if you're not fast enough, they just get to do big things.
The top deck land was huge. Because now they get to play the Niv Misset, and now they have a 6/6 and what? I'm gonna say this is draw 2.
Well, I have seen the Niv Mizzet whiff, like with just one card or something.
But
sometimes
that's not a whiff. That's a huge find. 2 removal spells and the best card in the deck as in Bring to Light.
Oh no.
So yeah, even though the game might go on for 3 turns at least, or even 5 to 6 turns, the CoCo deck is gonna have so hard time trying to deal with any of this. And here the player was accidentally kicking the camera a little bit. Yeah, this is a hard position to be in for the CoCo player, but also this is a very relieving position for the Niv to Light player because they are almost fully stabilized, or I would even say they are fully stabilized from this point on.
Yeah, and since this is Selesnya CoCo and not Gruul CoCo, you can't really like force the 7 damage anymore without leaving turns to react.
The Skycleave is almost good enough. Because it only hits 4 drops or less. It cannot hit anything from the Niv player's side.
Yeah.
But again, if the Enduring Innocence is gonna be like not destroyed next turn, it would draw a card at least, which is another body for the field. But the Niv player has Maelstrom pools, they have Bring to Light, so they have any card in their deck. They might also have Valaki.
Getting PTSD from just the word Valaki.
Yeah, I don't see how the CoCo player is gonna win. Oh, of course, might as well play it. It's not gonna take that much time. I understand that completely. But I don't see them winning this now. Even how depressing it feels to say, yeah, and there's the Valky. Or Tibalt, we should say. At least I believe they ain't gonna cast it as a Valky. And now, what, they get an emblem that they can play cards exiled with Tibalt. And then +2 exile top card of both each player's library, and -3 exile artifact or creature. And minus something exile everything from the graveyards. So if they want, they can like exile the voice and then just play it. And I think this is just a scoop, which is completely understandable. There's no coming back from that game.
The only reason why I would play out this is if I were suspecting that the Nivtolite was playing something new that I hadn't seen before, or something like that.
Yeah, there's also the time, so you need to play a little bit faster and scoop a little bit faster. And Niv decks can play anything, so you need to expect anything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, -8, flow 3 red mana. The most important thing in the card. 3 red mana. So. If the CoCo player now has the third land and the CoCo, they're relatively in a good shape. And with a great start. Yeah, I think this is CoCo hands, so this is a quite good start from them. And slower start from the Niv player because they didn't have the turn 2 Leyline Binding. But yeah, getting the forest implies there isn't like there's abrupt decay only as a 2 mana removal spell, right? Because the other ones are Lightning Helix and Vanishing Verse.
Yeah, and even abrupt decay is like he only has she only is running 1, so
yeah, it's not that likely. Of course, they might have like 3 mana drop. They might have Colacans. There's like a million things they can still have. Or they could have another Fablet Passage and have a really awkward mana. Again, if you cast, no, it's not still the Niv's player turn. Yeah, I was about to say something stupid about voice triggering, but of course it's not gonna trigger on your own turn.
Yeah.
So there's the chosen 3 drops are another voice and Aven Interruptor. Those are creatures, I'm gonna say. They are not the best creatures, but at least they are creatures.
Yeah.
And it feels like the Niv player has the abrupt decay. Yeah. Interestingly, taking out the Llanowar Elves. So hoping that the Selesnya deck doesn't have the 4th land. This is a 6 damage hit. And they pass the turn, so they might have another Aven Interrupter, which is really good at this position. You already have something on the field, and if the new player tries to play something with 3 mana, instead it's getting almost countered and costs 4 mana next turn. So this is a good position for the CoCo player.
Definitely. And these first few turns are really crucial for Nivtalite.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And there's the Ava Interrupter. And now the sweep costs 4 mana because Ava Interrupter makes everything from exile cost 2 more and from graveyard. So if there is no fourth untap mana, yeah. And even if there is, the voice tokens just kill.
Yeah.
So the Selesnya
Niv
CoCo
play-
the CoCo player was able to disrupt enough and go for the win.
Yeah. The Niv player saying that she wanted to kill Lana War the whole game, but they couldn't always. They could always CoCo in response when she had the mana for it.
And here we see turn 1 elf getting a vanishing verse, so slowing down the Selesnya.
Hmm.
Yeah, killing the elves is very good thing to do. Especially in turn 1, because then they're like, if they're banking on the elf, they might not have a turn 2 play, which loses them the tempo so much.
Yeah.
Enduring Innocence is good. The only thing it's bad against is Leyline Binding, and well, Vanishing Verse also, but you saw one Vanishing Verse used already. So, what are the chances that the Yorion player has exile removal?
Well, with this player, I would say 100%.
Yeah, I would also say 100%. Even though they probably didn't have it this time, it's still in the hand that then they just decided they want to use all of their mana.
Yeah.
Remember, opponent always has the best answer. Like, interesting choices what the CoCo player wants to do now. Of course, they want to play the creature. But they also need to keep up some amount of disruption from their hand, because the Niv to Light player is getting to 5 mana now. 50% of times there is exile every time. Exactly. It's same thing with counter spells. Except if you are playing, of course, then it doesn't feel like you have any of them. I'm not sure what the... Oh, I got a glimpse from the Niv players. There's another abrupt decay. Did I say right? Am I hallucinating? Oh no, it was the last game where there was abrupt decay. Yeah. I'm just being stupid again.
What's being abrupted this time? I didn't see.
Archon of Emeria.
Yeah, makes sense.
The Archon is... it's making the Bring to Light unplayable because it casts another card. So I understand it's a high priority target. But if you have the Aven Interrupter now, do you want to use it? Because the Niv player is also at 5 mana, they could cast a sweep. And sweep could be a horrible thing to see. Oh yeah, the Niv player is saying they wanted to decay the Archon because they have the sweep from which collects evidence 6. That's what it calls if you collect the evidence, which destroys the Enduring Innocence and gets rid of it.
Makes sense.
So yeah, the play is making so much more sense now. Just hoping that there is no event interrupter. Or baiting it with Yorion, that's also fine. That's actually even better play to do. I don't know if how much the bait was also a risk, because if they have like the Werefox instead, they could have exiled it out of the way and then still maybe had the event interrupter.
Yeah, then definitely it makes sense.
And then there's the Kellan Adventure. I personally like this Kellan really much. It's just a solid card.
Yeah.
It's a good 2-drop for the deck if they miss the Llanowar Elf or the Elf at the start, or the Elf gets killed. And the Adventure side it's useful.
Yeah.
The maps
it's
are
at
good.
least something.
Yeah, it's at least something for your mana. And the attack trigger is quite good. Because when you attack with it, you reveal top card. If it's a creature with CMC 3 or less, you put into your hand, and otherwise you can put into graveyard. So either you see CoCo at top of your deck, you keep it there, land, you mill it, or you get a creature. So there's like a no bad thing that can happen. So. And there's another Kellan Adventure. But because we know there is the sweep coming, it seems really dicey. It could go either way. Because the new CoCo player also has the Kellan in exile, so they still have some amount of gas. It fully depends on what the new player has in their hand. Because they also now get, after the sweep, they get free Yorion whenever they feel like. They don't need to cast it this turn, they can wait till they get something like Niv on the field. And just get the full value. It's not like they're in a rush. And yeah, here's the Deadly Cover-Up. Yes, now I remember the name. So collect event 6.
Yeah, quite a strong card in Pioneer.
Yeah, especially for this moment, because normally the Enduring Innocence would come back and just keep getting value, but because it's a trigger in the stack and we resolve the whole thing first, they can get rid of all of the Enduring Innocence from the deck. And they shuffled the Peacekeeper from top of the deck, so they now have again a random draw. And in the hand there's Voice of Resurgence, Eiganjo, and I'm not sure if the last one is Selesnya land. But if it's a second land in the hand, that's quite yikes. There isn't as much gas anymore thanks to the Peacekeeper getting shuffled away. Here we go. What's the draw? Is it CoCo? Or
CoCo could very well turn this around.
yeah, they accidentally dropped a card. But, yeah. CoCo would do things, surprisingly. There's Voice. Yeah, it was another land in the hand. And if they leave up 4 mana, it's 100% something with flash or instant speed.
Mm.
Something like another Peacekeeper isn't like that good, even that good at this moment, because the new player has so much mana that even if they name something that costs 5, they can also cast it through the tax. It's a little bit of annoyance and a 3/3, but not the end of the world.
Yeah.
And there's always just the free Yorion now. So seeing Niv would be devastating from this position. That's Omnat. I think that Fable was straight from the top of the deck. So, gain 4 life from the first trigger, second trigger, produce everything except black. The Omnat is so good because it gains so much life if you need it, or it just makes your turn super good. Oh, and that's Bring to Light. So now they have everything. If they go get Niv Mizzet, they can play the Yorion for free and then blink both. And the Niv is gonna draw, let's say, at least 5 cards with the 2 with the 2 ETBs. So that's gonna be at least 7 cards.
Yeah, I would say this is definitely GG.
Yeah, this is GG. If the Niv doesn't whiff twice, and the Niv player just draws still 5 lands somehow, I don't think there's even that. Like, that's not even an option. They're like 1 in a million, like, to see any, like, they don't see anything useful and they still draw like bad cards, and still the CoCo player needs to draw so well. And there's another Bring to Light Maelstrom Pulse, so yeah, draw 2, but yeah. Yeah. The Bring to Light is the best card in the deck, like I said. Because it's anything in the deck. It could be another Niv Mizzet, it could be even a boat. And there's Lightning Helix, I think that's Vanishing Verse. So yeah, the Niv was only draw 2 both times. Oh no, it was a draw of 6 that turn with 2 Omnat ETBs and 2 Niv Mizzets.
Oh dear lord.
It's not looking good, I say.
Yeah, Niv can really just turn things around with 1 Bring to Light even, and like against a deck that has already lost most of its steam, this is looking really bad.
And now they're saying the chat, pretty good for 5 mana, 14 power, draw 6. I would say that's kinda decent.
Yeah.
Like, from nothing to this. Pretty good, I should say. And now they're attacking with Kellan, doing the Desperation attack. To see if there's anything better on the top of the deck.
Yeah, I don't think there can be anything that would solve this.
Yeah, they can also use the Eiganyo to destroy something. If the Niv player blocks with Omnat, it just dies, and if they block with Niv or Yorion, they trade with the Kellan, which is still 2 for 1. Yeah, like, and even still, it's bad. Like, it's bad trade. It's 2 for 1, while the Yorion was on that turn free. So when you think about the Yorion drew 3 cards from 2 from the Niv, from fun from the Omnat, and it still traded for a removal spell or removal land and a creature. I would say it's a pretty good 8 card in your opening hand.
Yeah. I mean, it was 2 for 1 when the Nivtalite player has, 6 cards in their hand, so...
And there's still the Lightning Helix. Oh, Vanishing Verse, so even worse. Oh no, the voice triggers. Oh yeah, the Werfox play again. Get the Kellan out of there. Get a free draw from Kellan and make it go away. Again, the attack was value, like full of value. There was a card drawn, a removal spell used. So I think it was still a good play to do. It had full of value, but then again, so is the Niv's whole hand almost full of value. Even the lands can be cycled if nothing else, and the lands are still for life. So they're choosing something to name with the Anointed Peacekeeper. I don't think it really matters what you name. If you name Lightning Helix, it gets destroyed by Maelstrom Pulse if needed, and probably the new player probably doesn't even care. They have so much mana at this point. I don't think they feel pressured even a little bit with these creatures.
Yeah.
Naming probably bring to like just make it cost 2 more, which means it gets the Helix gets cast. So there's the 2 from that. And then they go get Valky again and just start grinding the value. They are thinking about what to name. They really do think what they want to name. And they name Maelstrom Pulse.
I mean, this is just playing for the fun of it at this point.
Well, if you have time, it's a 3rd game. It's like no reason to scoop.
Yeah.
Just play it and see what happens. You're probably gonna lose like 99% of the time, but if you can find the 1 in 100. If I remember correctly, they weren't even close to time. So, but technically it still would be optimal to try to play for the time to try to get the 1-1 or 1-1-1.
Yeah.
But I think the Niv player also, with these cards, can get the kill even on 3 turns if they really need to. But yeah, I would imagine this goes get Valky. Or something equally good. I would think it's Valky because Valky is a really good, or Tibalt is a really good planeswalker. Oh yeah, Clarion also does a lot. Yeah, yeah. Because this sweeps the whole board and gives everything lifelink. So that, for clarification, that's the new elemental that got produced by the Voice of Resurgence from dying.
Yeah, attacking for 14 lifelink with Clarion.
I don't think the Omnat is attacking, so 10 only, but 10 only. Because the Omnat would get traded now, because it has already taken 3 damage from the Clarion.
Yeah, Nana just said 14, so I just was parroting what she said.
Oh, lied to us.
Yeah.
What a liar. Yeah, Selesnya having no cards. Watching the giant attackers. I think this is GG. I'm not sure, but I think.
Yeah, I don't really see CoCo drawing anything to save the game.
And there's Talia for saying, Lulus, I have Talia.